Day they were talking about the cups, and they're so tightly cut. You have to make a center cut putt. It's not going to reach up and grab it in.
I did not see that, but that makes sense. Well, and the cut at the moment is +3. If that were to hold up,
it'll move.
If that were to hold up, say goodbye to Jordan Spieth, say goodbye to Daniel Berger, say goodbye to Jason Day, say goodbye to Patrick Reed, say goodbye to Billy Horschel,
Justin
say
Thomas.
Goodbye to Wes Simpson, say goodbye to
It's already
JT.
moved to 4 as we speak.
Has it really? +4?
Yeah. And the 5s don't need to get in a hurry, pop in the trunk.
No. No, they don't. You're right. I don't think anybody's going to catch Mickelson because of that.
Including Andy Sullivan.
That's 6,
See you
isn't
next
he?
time.
He's at 6, right?
Yeah.
Was
see
it
you
7,
next
maybe? I'm trying to remember.
He's at 6.
He's at 6.
With Sergio Garcia at 6. Zach Johnson still playing at 6. Rich Beam, former champion at 6. He's not going to make the cut.
No.
There's some big scores. It's a big golf course.
It's just playing so difficult right now because of those winds. I've seen guys. People don't realize when it gets that windy, 20 to 30 miles per hour. You're talking about putting downwind. The ball will go well past the hole if you don't read it right.
Yeah.
And if it's a crosswind, you got to read it.
It's affecting everything.
Do you realize?
You're right on the green.
I'm just saying this right now. Phil Mickelson would become only the second player aged 50-plus with a 36-hole lead after the second round of a major.
What a story. And
it
will inspire quite a debate Sunday afternoon. And we'll see if he can have that magic moment that Tiger had in 2019 at Augusta National, that Jack Nicklaus had in 1986 at Augusta National. Hale Irwin, to a degree, kind of had it in 1990 at the U.S. Open as an older player.
Was he the other guy? Was he the other player? Because I did not see who the other player was that was over 50 and leading after the second round of a major.
No.
Was it Ray Floyd, maybe?
Because Hale Irwin won but did not eclipse Julius Burroughs as being the oldest winner at 48. But he was older. I think he was 47.
Well,
but Julius Burroughs, the oldest winner of a major at 48 when he won the PGA.
When Watson gave up that Open Championship,
he was 59.
Was he the leader after 36? I'm trying to figure out who that other guy could be.
Don't overtax yourself.
Okay. I won't, because that's easily done. So you're right. I see it now. Justin Thomas is right in on the cut because now the cut is +4. But he's still got a lot of holes to play in that wind.
He does, but he hadn't been sharp. He hadn't been sharp off the tee. Bryson DeChambeau hadn't been that sharp either. Brooks Koepka today, not as good as yesterday, but playing in brutal conditions. I mean, look at those flags.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're.
Dustin Johnson's not himself either. Koepka's just a great story because he could barely walk, and people are saying,
big game, Brooks Koepka.
Big it's a major,
Brooks
I'll
Koepka.
be there. So he and DeChambeau are both at 1 under par and playing in this treacherous wind. I
went to PGAtour.com for the correct pronunciation, and I saw it phonetically. Now I got it down. Bezuidenhout.
Bezuidenhout? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Sounds like
I think it's just
sneezed.
allergies, but it's just seasonal allergies. But I appreciate your concern, Dave. I really do. Thank you.
I'm always thinking of you. You know that.
I got a hanky handy. You know I do. I keep the hanky handy.
We do have a busy show today. Bruce Marshall, as always, will be with us. We'll see what the odds in Vegas are of Phil Mickelson winning this thing. There's no, all right. So let's just bring that debate out. Let's just say Jack Nicklaus winning in '86 at age 46, and that was his 18th major championship. I think,
and we've had 35 years to properly mythologize it.
Yes. If at 51, Phil, that would be 5 years older than Jack was when he won it. Mm-hmm. It would be 3 years older than Julius Boros when, he has become he was or is the oldest ever to win a major. Tom Watson should have probably had one. Would the Mickelson at 51 winning a PGA on this length of a course, 7,800 yards? You gotta think about that too.
And Dave, of course, they don't see every year like Jack Nicklaus got to see
Right.
Augusta National and how he knew
Right.
it like the back of his hand.
Right. That's true. That's a good point. Is that a greater feat? I don't think we're going to have this debate because I'll be amazed if Phil Mickelson can walk 36 more
I will be
holes
too.
into this win.
But Stuart
and do it
Sink
again.
shocked us a few weeks ago as an older player winning on tour. But
True.
I'm with you. But the pro field side and the argument should be made without disparaging either person. First of all, how could you disparage Jack Nicklaus?
You can't.
But make the debate, make the case without sullying anyone. Here it is for Phil Mickelson from me. I mentioned the familiarity with Augusta National. Jack Nicklaus had won 2 majors just 6 years prior to that. Phil Mickelson last won a major 8 years ago. But Phil Mickelson did win on tour in 2018 and 2019. Jack Nicklaus had not won on tour since winning those 2 majors in 1980. But for Phil Mickelson to do it on this course and against this field, I think the depth and breadth of the tour is better now than it was in April of 1986.
Well, I'd have to look at that leaderboard again that was trying to chase him down or that he chased down.
Greg Norman.
Greg Norman
Tom
was
Kite.
in there.
They're pretty good.
Wasn't Tom Watson? Wasn't Lee Trevino? Weren't they
Seve
playing?
Ballesteros.
Seve Ballesteros.
Trevino wasn't.
That's right. Trevino was not. He didn't like playing Augusta. I would have thought he would have at that in the mid 80s that he was still playing it because he was
nowhere around.
Nowhere. Okay. How many times did Lee Trevino play Augusta National? I wonder.
Don't know, but he wasn't a factor in 86.
All right. Anyway, there was a pretty good field chasing him down, but you're right. I mean, you're of course there's going to be some big names that aren't going to make this, but
and 51 versus 46.
That's 5 years. That's quite a bit. And also seriously, you're talking about 7,800 yards. I don't know, and I don't know if you can find it. What was the? This is prior to Augusta being tigerized, right? So you're talking almost 1,000 more yards now than when Jack won his in '86.
Tiger was a mere 13 years old. They didn't even know they had to Tiger proof it. It's about 6,900.
So, you got to take that into
1,000 more
consideration
yards.
too. 1,000 more yards, and this is it's a great field. Although a lot of the great players may not be around on Saturday and Sunday to compete, but wow, this
would be fun Sunday afternoon at 4:00 if he's marching down the.
Let me tell you something. If he's in the final 3
I love him for how good he's been to Memphis.
Final 3 groups, I would say, amazing. Well, just think.
Yeah, tomorrow's the real crucial day for him.
Yeah, if he does well enough here, if he wins this, he'll be in Memphis.
Oh, he will be, and will be serenaded as almost like local guy coming home because he is loved by the Memphis galleries in a lot of years there after Stanford Financial and tough times for the golf tournament that are well documented. Phil Mickelson would get out there early and commit and could sell around him and sell corporate and hospitality and bulk tickets around him. He was great to this tournament. He's great to everybody at Southwind.
No doubt.
One of the notorious great tippers of all time. Yeah, shows up with Huskies and Sprit and makes it rain.
He does. You know who else is that way? A guy we were maligning just the other day. You know who gives humongous tips? Greg Popovich.
Yeah, I don't think it was maligning we were doing it. Certainly not personally.
No, but.
All right, so let's make a pick tonight. Grizzlies. Golden State. Just pick them.
I thought we were doing that at 3:45, or we're just doing the other
ones. We're going to do the rest of them at 3:45.
Okay.
We'll do the big game.
Okay.
I'm taking the Grizzlies, and it's not Homer talking.
Well, I really hope you're right. I really hope you're right, and I think for that to occur, JV's got to play as well as he played against the Spurs.
You can't foul out.
They don't have anybody inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dylan Brooks can't foul out.
Yeah. They don't have anybody
JV can't foul out either, yeah.
No.
I think they can be exposed. I think he can work them inside.
Well, I hope that he plays 38 minutes again like he did last night, because he hasn't done that very often. He was tired in the middle of the third quarter, but he still finished strong. And Taylor Jenkins has to have the kind of rotations that he had in the second half against the Spurs. He cannot go with the total mass substitution at the end of the first quarter like he has been wont to do. So I think that's a key. I think his rotations and keeping at least a couple of starters in the lineup at all times, JV playing as well as he did the other night. And here's the other thing. You got to hit threes. In the game last Sunday, they hit 6 threes. What was it? Golden State had 14 or 15 in that game. You can't win games if you only get 6 threes and the other team is getting double-digit threes. You can't trade twos
What do you have to hold Steph to? Can you live with 35?
I think you can live with 35. They were in the game until there was no longer any slowing them down because Dillon Brooks was out of the game. And Dillon Brooks is critical on both sides of the floor. When the going gets tough, he scores 8 in a row. He's done that twice in a row. He did that in the game.
Can you live with 45?
I don't know. 45 might be too much. But anywhere from 35 to 40, that's what he does. He averages, what does he average, 32.5 points a game?
Can you live with 55?
Here's what I think.
Just crazy.
You can't let Poole have 19 points. That's the thing. Wiggins has
it's
to be.
It's the satellite guys.
Has to be.
I think Steph could have 55, but you can't let the satellites then fill it in.
55 would be
Drew Barrett just texted me that he takes the Grizzlies as well tonight, so it's down to you whether it's a group lock.
No, I am not taking the group lock. I think Golden State has the superstar. I think that they're at home, and they're good at home. And as much as I would like for the Grizzlies to win, and
no homer pick from you, though.
Just what I've told you I think has to happen for the Grizzlies to win, and I'd love that, but I don't think it'll happen. I think Golden State
the NBA
will win.
playoffs, they're here, and you will be in hoops heaven betting all the action at FanDuel Sportsbook. Now's the time to sign up. There's so many exciting matchups starting tonight all weekend, literally night and day all weekend. FanDuel, they're taking that excitement to another level because new and existing users can bet risk-free throughout the playoffs. New users can get up to $1,000 back if your first bet doesn't win. Plus, once you have an account, you can bet one same-game parlay risk-free every week. That means you can combine multiple bets from an even bigger win. And if you don't win, you'll get up to $10 back. Basketball fans, now's the perfect time to give FanDuel a shot. Just sign up with promo code CASH to bet the NBA playoffs risk-free exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Risk-free bet for first online real money wager and only refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Same game parlay refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $10. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Same game parlay available for multiple sports in all states on the internet and on your mobile phone. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. They're offering the golden opportunity late May into Memorial Weekend sales event 901-362-8833. Great offers on all 2021 models and always special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at 2600 Ridgeway at Lexus of Memphis and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2021 flagship LS500 and you'll be looking and driving great. Lexus of Memphis with the highest standards in the industry. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com, 901-362-8833. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, there are two stories that are huge, and they are that age 51, Phil Mickelson is leading at the 130th PGA Championship. At Kiowa Island, he shot today a 69. He's 5 under for the tournament. He's in the
103rd PGA, isn't it? Not 130. 103.
103?
I was at 100 at Bell Reef.
Okay. Well, that
much time
that,
ain't gone
that
by.
wasn't 27 years ago. I know that.
No. But a good story, isn't it?
It is an unbelievable story. If he were to win another major and do it at the age of 51 to become the oldest ever to win a major championship, it would be something. He's only the second who has ever been over 50 years of age and had the 54-hole lead if it stands up. And I really do believe it will, because the conditions are just so difficult this afternoon at Kiowa. In the meantime, the other story are the Memphis Grizzlies. They have won 39 games this year. So has Golden State. One's season will come to an end this evening at about 10:30. The other, well, they'll be heading to Salt Lake City to take on the Utah Jazz as the number 8 seed. This is a rematch from a pretty good game last Sunday. The bad news on that is, though, the Golden State Warriors won. And they did it by hitting threes, and a superstar took over the game.
And they were better.
They were better. Will the Grizzlies have won their lessons? They've made good adjustments as the year has gone on. Will Taylor Jenkins shorten that rotation, be a little bit smarter? Can they hit some threes that they didn't in the game on Sunday? If they do, maybe they go to Utah. Otherwise, it'll be Golden State. It should be a tremendous evening.
My top story is tonight's big game for the Grizzlies. It's win or no games that matter, and for the Grizzlies until November, when the 21-22 season will begin. Rematch from last Sunday, and they've got to limit Steph to at least a paltry 35, maybe 38. Under 40. Wiggins to around 20. Draymond to around 10, and then they have to make threes, and they have to make free throws. They have to play their best game of the year tonight. It's a really big matchup for Ja and Jaren. It's not must-win. It's not undue pressure on them. But these are the kind of games that really kind of starts turning it into steel. And you win those kind of games, then for the future, it'll make it even brighter.
Not top story of the day.
Well, the number one player in the state of Georgia, who is a junior in high school, is leaving for a reported $1 million deal from the G League Elite team. While that is going on, there is a new league for high school kids, about 30 of them, called the Overtime Elite Professional League. They have signed a 2-year contract with 2 juniors, brothers, from the state of Florida that are top 15 in that same class that the kid from Georgia is in. 3 young men, either 16 or 17, leaving high school to become professional basketball players. Now, I know that there are many people out there that share the sentiment that colleges have exploited players all this time, and that a scholarship and that the platform and the ability to excel there and then go on and make connections in your community or then go on to the NBA, that has not been right for the athletes. I say to you, robbing a kid at 16 or 17, just got his license, taking them away from home, away from their family, and the families are in on this, making the kind of money at that age when you really don't know. Do you really know this kid's going to be a for sure thing pro? Wow. It seems to me that is exploitation of a teenager. That is what happened today. 3 players, 2 different leagues, luring away these athletes as juniors in high school.
And the market will have to settle it. We're going to have some disasters out of that, may have some hits and successes out of that. It'll play out. College basketball will be fine. Maybe those people that have the hand out in 11th grade are the ones you might want to weed out from college basketball and constantly be kind of trying to game the system. My not top story, Glory's second chance this weekend at the PGA Championship, and the golf course is almost perfect. The setup, the challenge, the stakes. Will it be Phil's 86 Masters moment? that was like for the Golden Bear, 2019 for Tiger at Augusta National. It would be some TV Sunday afternoon, and if he wins, it makes for another debate. Is it old man Tom Brady or older man Phil Mickelson for Sports Moment of the Year in 2021?
Ooh. Well, one's already in the books. We're only halfway on the other story. We shall see for sure. Those are your top and your not top stories. We got Bruce Marshall coming your way at 3:30. Then we will make our NBA picks at 3:45. Rex Hoggard from the Golf Channel will go to Kiowa Island, and we'll chat with our friend who is witnessing all of that. We'll ask him about if it's as big as Jack, if this thing holds on back in 86. Tim Doolin on baseball. He comes your way at 4:30. Andy Schiffman at 5. We're out of here a little bit early, so crunch time with Taco Bell will come at 5:20 because we'll make way for the Ole Miss Rebels at Georgia. That baseball game will begin at 5:30. What a day we have planned for you, that is for sure. It's brought to you in part by the Spirit Shop. Okay, weekend's here. I want you to stock up. I'm going to make it so easy for you. I'm just going to put you right at Poplar and St. Nick. 4646 Poplar, right down from Clark Tower. You've passed it a million times, so easy to get to. It's that little log cabin that looks little, but inside you won't believe all the product that's in there. All of the classic bourbons and tequilas and vodkas and the great wines like Caymus and Silver Oak. And then there's the up-and-comers. You know, Eddie Connor was telling people way back in the 70s about watch and wait to see what Silver Oak does. And he was right. Look what happened. Same thing with some wines that are out right now. Look at Cornerstone, a Memphis local group that is a big part of Cornerstone. Came out of nowhere. You could buy it for nothing a few years ago. Now it'll cost you. If you want to stock up the right way and learn more about spirits, go see Eddie Connor and his family, my friends, at the Spirit Shop, and stock up with beer and accessories too. They got everything you need for the weekend at the Spirit Shop. We take this quick time out. To Vegas we go. The Golden Man from the Gold Sheet in Las Vegas, Bruce Marshall, is front and center in just a minute.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Acura of Memphis invites you to experience the all-new, completely redesigned 2022 Acura MDX. It's the most advanced SUV Acura has ever built. Experience the convenience of full connectivity, including built-in Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging, from the stunning interior, complete with third-row seating. Stop by our state-of-the-art facility and take advantage of our aggressive APR offers today at Ridgeway and 385. Or shop online from the convenience of home now. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
You looking for a ride equipped with family fun for everyone? We got it at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike during the Jeep Freedom Days and Memorial Day sales event. 2021 Jeep Renegade Sport, $23,990 or $299 a month. 2021 Dodge Charger XST, $31,110 or $399 a month. 2021 Jeep Wrangler Sport, $335 a month. And 2021 Fiat 500X Pop All-Wheel Drive, $24,490 or $329 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1900 Covington Pike, or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, 75 months at 4.15% APR, 500X, MP 8982, MSRP 27885, Renegade MPM 44788, MSRP 26240, Charger SXT, MH 561998, MSRP 33110, Wrangler MW 725203, MSRP 33610, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax out on license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/21 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Have you ever wondered what's inside your air ducts? Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. If you are one of many who suffers from bad allergies, especially in the Mid-South, and would like to improve the indoor air quality of your home, then Choate's Air Duct Cleaning could be a solution for you and your family. Air duct cleaning has been proven to help people with allergies and other respiratory issues by removing buildup of debris from your home's air supply. Air duct cleaning will also help eliminate dust from building up in your house. Therefore, you don't have to dust as much either. And air duct cleaning is also shown to help improve the performance of your air conditioning and heating system. Choates is the name you can trust for all your indoor air quality needs. So call Choates today at 755-4797 or visit our website at choateshvac.com to schedule a free video inspection to help you breathe a little easier. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy.
Going to be a gorgeous weekend, just like this gorgeous Friday afternoon. We're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios. I urge you to go to Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, see those pools before they sell out like they did last year. Same thing with spas. Lots in stock at the moment, ready for delivery. They could all be gone by the time July hits, that's for sure. Also, 2021 patio furniture, I keep telling you. You want to use your yard more? You're going to really fall in love with all your surroundings. Get some patio furniture that you can sit back and relax, especially on a Friday night like tonight, and just take it all in. You will really love it. And some of those new 2021 patio furniture just sets that are perfect. Well, they're on 20% off watch. You got to go see it. And you can swing in the spring with a brand new play gym. There is professional installation available, which I always recommend, so the kids stay safe. It's a great weekend to go to Family Leisure. It's never looked better than it does right now. Go see for yourself. I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun all do come together. To Las Vegas we go. Lots to talk about. You can break down the NBA playoffs for us, but you are also a writer and a historian, Bruce Marshall. And so let us ask you straight out, if Phil Mickelson were to win this tournament, how would that rank in just momentous sports moments? And how would you compare it with Nicklaus at 46 in 1986, winning the Masters?
Yeah, that would be the comparable one. Tom Watson made a run a few years back, might be more than a few years back, but into his 50s, I think, at the British Open, I want to say.
Yeah, he was 59 at the British.
Yeah, right, late 50s. So that I think would have been the capper. But this would be right up there if he can hang in there. And by the way, one other note, I give the PGA, the tour, full props for moving the PGA into May. Now, they were going to do that last year, I guess, but I can't even forget. I mean, the COVID and what happened last year. But by now, you've got April, you got the Masters. Now, May, there was always kind of a lull between the Masters and the U.S. Open. Now you got the PGA in May, U.S. Open June, British in July. That's more
don't
proper.
forget, you got the Players in March. So basically, and then
Players
you got
in March, yeah.
and you got the playoffs in August. You really got major tournaments, one every month, and then throw in the 5 WGC events.
Yeah, and then Ryder Cups in September, I think, up in Whistling Straits. So, I mean, I think they finally got the calendar right. But back to your point, no, this would be a major, if he can hang in it. There's still a lot of golf to go, but it would be quite a story if Phil can. It'd be right up there, yeah, right near the top. You can hang in there into Sunday, sure.
Yeah, and it's Friday afternoon, 36 holes played. Sunday would be quite another story. But it would be the year for the old guy, wouldn't it? Brady in February at the Super Bowl and Mickelson in May at the PGA.
Yeah, it would. And to actually win these things, I mean, here's the funny thing. I can remember us talking George Blanda that year in 70, and the Raiders didn't win the championship that year, but Blanda had that great run. I am to the point now where I'm old enough where the George Blanda of 1970 could have been my son. So this is how time has flown by. But no, I mean, this is quite interesting, quite exciting. Well, what's going on with Nicholson for sure.
Just out of curiosity, how does Vegas see this PGA, at least coming in? I think wasn't Rory the overwhelming favorite, and I don't know that Rory's going to make the cut. I'll tell you who's making a move is Beefcakes. DeChambeau's now 2 under, and you know who's going to make the cut probably is Ricky Fowler, who hasn't made a cut in like forever. There's some interesting things going on here.
Yeah, there are, and they have to. Golf is a little bit different because there's always in the same sort. I mean, Rory's going to be up there all the time, but they have to adjust as the tournaments go on always. And even a guy like McIlroy, I mean, is a favorite. I mean, you could get a better price on the St. Louis Blues winning the series against the Avs down 2-0 than you can the favorite in a golf tournament. So it's always sort of the odds are a little bit skewed in golf anyway. But they are adjusting, and I was just down at Sunset Station for a show in the last hour, and the traffic's going to pick up there with Phil, the golf betting traffic, which has been good anyway for them, but it'll be better if Mickelson sustains this run. That's generating some interest and excitement.
No,
Bruce, we consider LeBron James an old guy, don't we? Certainly for that sport he is. Certainly not Tom Brady's age or even close to Phil Mickelson, but for that sport, that wear and tear, and now the Lakers as a very dangerous 7 seed.
Yeah, they are. They're sort of the wild card here in the playoffs. I'm sure Phoenix would have rather not run into the Lakers, although I'm not sure Golden State with Steph is a much better alternative right now. I will assure you, now the Grizz goes tonight. This is the Grizz, a nice up and coming team here, but Utah would much rather play Memphis than Golden State. I'll guarantee you that. Just like Philadelphia last night, I'm sure was cheering for Indiana, even though it has beaten Washington this season. It hasn't played Washington since the Wizards have really got going late. You'd rather avoid Westbrook and Bradley Beal if you can. And by the way, the NBA, they have stumbled into something really good. The play-in round kept the last few weeks of the regular season interesting. Certainly, I think, gave the top 6 seeds in each conference a little bit of an extra rest, created some extra interest. I think this is here to stay. Adam Silver apparently likes it, even if some of the players don't.
Well, and the ratings have been outstanding, 60% over regular season ratings. I can't imagine they would take that away. And as you just said, it makes the end of the season a lot more compelling to watch than what we've been watching, which is teams tank for the lottery. So I think this is a godsend. All right, how do you see the Warriors and the Grizzlies tonight? We know Utah would rather play Memphis. That's a given. How does the Gold Sheet break down tonight's game?
Yeah, well, they just played in a similar game on Sunday for the 8th seed in San Francisco, and Golden State won rather handily, 113-101. The games usually don't repeat in the same way, but I think the result's going to probably end up being the same. Golden State's generally played very well. They've been playing really well at home. They could have won that game against the Lakers the other night for sure. And I'm not sure it's going to be much different than Sunday. Morant has been just looking at some of his recent stat lines. In a lot of games, he hasn't down the stretch. Even the last month, he's had a few big ones, but a lot of 12-point efforts and things like that. They're going to really need him to come up big. They want to outscore Curry tonight. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Warriors win and set up a pretty interesting series, more than a 1-8 usually would be against the Jazz.
Bruce, historically, and when you get into best of 7, that really makes it almost impossible, and to get all the way to the finals and wade through all the rounds. But what's the biggest upset in NBA history? Is it 75 Golden State with the 4-0 sweep over Washington? Was it Portland down 2-0 but just 2 years later over Dr. J in the 70s and George McGinnis in the 76ers? What's the biggest NBA finals upset?
That Golden State one might be because the Bullets were, as they were called then, were a pretty prohibitive favorite, and the Warriors just had a very rough series with the Bulls right before that, which Dave probably recalls from the Bulls days.
Yep.
And the fact that was a sweep was totally unexpected. I mean, you can go back because it was the Celtics. We tend to look back and say, okay, it was the Celtics. It was much of a surprise. When they beat the Lakers in '69, Russell's last year, that was a surprise. That was an upset. Lakers were a pretty solid favorite coming in. Boston was running on fumes. Boston was the last qualifier in the East and got in there. And I still, to this day, believe that Boston's last 2 championships with Russell, the Russell era, 68 and 69, when he was player coach, really separates the Celtics from all other dynasties because they were not the best team either those 2 years. The Sixers were the year before. The Lakers definitely were in 69, yet Boston still won. And that's the mark of a great, if you're not the best team and you win the championship, Yeah, so Golden State's 4-0 sweep. I mean, in '75, that really, and those 3 of those games were decided by a point, I believe, a point or two, very close. That one I think kind of sticks out to me, sure.
As you look at these series, East or West, I don't care which. I have one in mind. Which is the one most likely to have an upset?
I maybe it's the Lakers Phoenix because it's the Lakers, but I'm not sure that'd be considered much of an upset. Miami Milwaukee, I'd keep a really close eye on here. Even though Milwaukee
I hate to say it, but that is exactly how I've got it too. Both those games right there.
Yeah, and Milwaukee got Miami finally in the last time they met, I believe. But prior to that, Miami had given them fits, beat them in the bubble last year. You know, Milwaukee's got to start thinking if it can't get over this hump with Giannis, when is it going to happen? I really think last year that was the best team in the league, but something happened in the bubble. They got too distracted there, and they didn't react well to it. Clippers kind of the same thing on the west side. They just didn't react to the bubble that well. But they were not quite the same team this year that they were last year. And Miami has got something here to watch, so I think that's the series I would really watch in the first round for sure.
50 years since the Bucks won it with Kareem and the Big O and Bobby Dandridge and John McLaughlin with Larry Costello coaching. That's a long time, Bruce.
Yeah, Dave, that's a long drought. And, you know, at that point, a lot of people thought this is going to be a dynasty for Milwaukee, but the Lakers got in the way the next year. They lost to the Warriors in a big upset the year after that. They got to the final and were favored over Boston in '74 and lost with Kareem still there. And then '75, they didn't make the playoffs because Kareem got hurt. But that was – and Milwaukee threatened a few times in the decades since. The '80s, they were right there.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Johnson.
With Sidney Moncrief.
They were – yeah, and Sidney Moncrief. I mean, they were close, but they've had a long wait. But I'm this windows can close pretty quick in the NBA, and this is kind of important if Milwaukee's going to sustain as a contender to win this series. Bill, maybe Miami's the kryptonite for them. We'll see.
Well, you mentioned it as the bubble. I don't know if it was the bubble or the physicality of the way the playoffs are. And, you know, once you slow down Giannis and you make him shoot from the outside, keep him off the inside, that team has not been as effective. That's what worries me there. I think it's intriguing because Dallas can be really good. And they've got the Clips. I think the Clips are going to win that series, but I think that could be a very interesting one to watch.
It could, and the Clippers are. I sort of see them as an X factor too. I mean, if everybody is there and all hands on deck, that might be the best team in the West. I mean, a lot of people think they tanked that last game against Oak City because they wanted to make sure they avoided the Lakers early. I don't know. I think Ty Lue just didn't want anybody to get hurt, and they've had it has been a chore making sure you've got Kawhi and Paul George and everybody else healthy at the same time. So I understand, limiting games and minutes for these guys. But at the same time, the Clippers are vulnerable too. So Dallas is possible there. The other one in the West, the Denver-Portland, is really interesting. Until Jamal Murray got hurt, right at that point, right after they'd gotten Aaron Gordon, and a lot of people thought Denver was the best team in the West at that point.
Right.
Minus Murray, I don't think so. And there's a lot of people think Portland could pull the upset. In fact, Denver's only like a 1-point favorite in game one at home. So that means the odds makers are thinking we've got Portland a little bit stronger rated right now. That's going to be a real toss-up series in the West.
Should be a lot
Bruce,
of fun.
in 14 Fridays from now, we will be picking college football games for week 0. I know there are some early lines posted in Vegas. I don't want to break down too many games on May 21st, but do you ever find any value? I had a friend of mine 2 years ago, the year LSU won it all. He got LSU like plus 14.5 in the summertime, loaded up on them. They won the game outright at Tuscaloosa with Joe Burrow on the way to that miracle run. So that was value. Do you find real value in posted early college football lines?
Yeah, well, you can. I mean, now for many years I've been involved with the guys at the Golden Nugget doing that, and we come up with the numbers, and I'm not sure I'm going to do it this year, but for several years I've been involved in the process, and it is a real. The way we did it at the Golden Nugget, there were 3 of us, including Tony Miller, the sportsbook manager. We just shoot each game that he had, and it wasn't every game, but it was games of the year they would call it. What our numbers were, we kind of hash it out, and then Tony would decide what he would post. So it's not that scientific, at least at this stage. But yeah, I guess you could. My thought is, if you're betting, why rush it? I mean, you first of all, you're taking your money out of commission. The sports books love future bets like that, even though sometimes they get exposed. But I mean, they're keeping your money for months. And
Right.
If you've got money you want to just, not see for a long time, make bets on these games now. I'd rather wait until the fall. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you take a stab on some of these if you think you see some value,
Well,
but it's still a little too early for me.
I wonder on a lot of these lines, especially in this day and age of the transfer portal, how many times would a roster not be what you think you're betting on? Injury
Absolutely.
or transfer portal or something. My goodness,
It's hard enough knowing who's playing. It's really hard when they're not going to play in today.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
absolutely
who
is.
knows? I mean, Notre Dame's got a game that first week against Florida State. I think it's the Sunday game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Notre Dame. I think the Wisconsin transfer Cohn is going to be the quarterback, but you're not quite sure, and who knows what's going on with Florida State right now. We can wait until August, September to start worrying about these.
Yeah,
no
I hate
doubt.
to bet these games in May.
No doubt. How do we get more of you, my friend?
Yeah, check us out online at goldsheet.com. Now, we're still writing up these NBA playoff games in the Gold Sheet Hoops publication every day, and then picks up online basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer. Man, we used to take it easy in May. Not anymore. Goldsheet.com. My picks are there. Also at Vegas Insider and DonBest.com.
As always, we appreciate it. Have fun this
Thank you,
weekend
Bruce.
watching the NBA and the PGA just like we will.
Okay, guys. Have a good weekend.
That is Bruce Marshall, brought
Thank
to you
you.
in part by Supercuts. Okay, weekend's here. You want to look good. I know you still got time tonight. Go to supercuts.com. Find the one that's nearest to you. There are 15 Memphis locations now of Supercuts. Safe salon commitment still in place, still distancing, socially separated, and there is still that great sanitization plan in place. If you want to know more about the Safe Salon commitment, go to supercuts.com. Last reason I would send you to Supercuts, if you're looking for a job, they've got a lot of openings. And the Czech family is a terrific family to work for. So if you want to look good, if you'd like to feel even better about when you're going because you want to know about that Safe Salon commitment, or if you're looking for work, supercuts.com, that's the place for you to go and visit. We come back in a minute, and we will make our NBA playoff Round 1 predictions. That is right around the corner.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Gossett Kia on Covington Pike is celebrating Memorial Day all month long, and we can put you in a new Kia for less than $5 a day. 2021 Kia Forte $139 a month, 2021 Kia Soul $179 a month, and 2021 Kia K5 built in America $199 a month. All 36-month leases, only $3,049 to its signing. Plus, peace of mind you can trust with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Forte $139 a month lease, Soul $179 a month lease, K5 $199 a month lease. So hurry to Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, online KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
$0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte ME 358110, MSRP 20,590, sold M777 6411, MSRP 21960, K5 MG 005197, MSRP 26170, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
For years, I have talked to you about James Davis, the finest men's store in all of Memphis, the service, the selection, everything that goes with quality. And I've told you recently about the Stant Perfect Fit shirts. Well, now there's the Stant Perfect Fit pants. Absolutely amazing. Only 2 measurements fed into a computer, and all of a sudden, you've got the perfect fit pants. I'm talking everywhere. The leg, the seat, the bottom, all made to fit your body absolutely perfectly. And there's 80 different fabrics to choose from. You will find the right look, the right fit, almost instantaneously. They start at $162, but you will never find a better pair of pants than these at James Davis Men's Store. And the shirts are still there, and guess what? It's the only place in Memphis that you can find Stant. That's the James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center. It's happening again at Family Leisure. Don't miss out again this summer because pools are going fast. Spas in stock now, too, and they're ready for delivery. New 2021 patio furniture, state-of-the-art in stock now, and up to 20% off select sets. Swing into spring with a brand new play gym, professional installation available. The temperature's rising, and so is the service at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
We like to party.
At the PGA Championship, Phil Mickelson is the story. He shot a 69 today. That is as good as anybody has shot in these wins. Of course, he did it when it was a little bit more benign in the morning. Christian Bezuidenhout, who is a South African. There's 3 on top of the board from South Africa. Louis Oosthuizen at 4 under. Brandon Grace with Bezuidenhout. They are at 300. He shot a 70, Christian did. 71 for Brandon Grace. So they're in the clubhouse. Brooks Koepka remains at 3 under. The guy who was in the lead last night, Corey Connors, shot 75 today, so he's 2 under. So is Gary Woodland, Kevin Streelman, Sung Jae Im, a guy that I think is going to be outstanding. Paul Casey,
I do
Martin
too. We
Laird,
just can't catch up with him, can we?
Keegan Bradley, Victor Hovland, DeChambeau at 1 under, 2 under par. So they're
now 3
very
under
much in the,
through
in the
9 for Beefcakes.
Oh, DeChambeau
3 under.
Wow, he just birdied number 9.
Moving quickly.
And
we're going to make
that's 6 to 13. Those are the holes to score on. They're minus 29 now for the tournament.
Yeah. You got to get it there, and then that monster on 17. You know, that still has people from the 1991 Ryder Cup, waking up in the middle of the night. We will do NBA picks. Then they seem pretty chalky for this first round. I think Dave's got upset or 2. But if you want to sell a car, truck, or SUV, sell it to All-Star Chevrolet. All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. They're a car buying machine right now. It's a seller's market. It's great out there for you, the seller. Big money for any vehicle you want to sell, no matter what you owe. Seriously, All-Star will buy yours, even if you're not buying one of their cars. Bring any vehicle and get your check today. Spread the word. If you know anyone that wants to sell their car, truck, or SUV, All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, they're the new go-to place. So easy when you sell it to All-Star. Great people. Great people like Scott Crawford and Drew, the whole crew down at All-Star Chevrolet on Kraft Goodman Road. Go to their website, allstarautogroup.com.
All right, let's pick the NBA. You and Drew have both said Golden State's a winner tonight.
No. We took the Grizzlies.
Memphis, I'm sorry.
We're homers.
And I have Golden State to win.
You've never been accused of being a homer.
I'm going to start off, and I'm going to go with my first upset.
Did you just deflect? You're just not even going to address it?
I did.
Okay.
Many people say Miami was built for the bubble. I think Milwaukee is built for the regular season. I know they got Drew Holiday now.
Ooh,
it's an
that moniker.
upgrade.
Whatever that means.
From Bledsoe. I just don't think that they have enough weapons, and when the play gets really physical and you can shut down some of the interior
Well, then that's going to be
stuff.
big for Bud. If he can't get out of this, then they may go forward without him.
Maybe
I'm taking Milwaukee.
Maybe.
You're taking Miami.
I'm taking Miami. Yep.
Okay, I'll get Drew's picks. Then Clippers tonight hosting Dallas. I think Clippers in about 4-2, but it doesn't matter the series. Clippers take it.
I'm with you. I think the Clips. I think it'll be a good series. It'll probably be 6, but I think the Clippers are just slightly better at the moment than the Mavericks. We'll look out for the Mavericks in the future, though. They have a lot of really good potential.
Boston at Brooklyn tonight. I say sweep for the Nets. Brooklyn.
I don't know if it's a sweep, but probably 5. I think Brooklyn's got all 3 together, and when they play together, they're really good. I know they haven't played together much, but I don't think they may need to. They're all really experienced. They know one another really well. I think Brooklyn easy in this one. Then Denver and Portland, and everybody
sexy upset time.
Everybody's got this as the big upset, as the sexy upset. There's a reason that Jokic is the odds-on favorite to be the MVP, and I know Murray is gone. But they've played okay without him. I think Denver's going to win this series. I'm going Denver.
I'm with you.
Oh, you are.
I'm not going with the upset. Tomorrow starts early, starts furiously. Washington at Philly. Sweep or gentleman sweep? Philly.
Gentleman sweep. Give me Philly. No doubt.
Phoenix hosting the Lakers. Here we go. The better seed. Phoenix, the underdog for the series. What does Vegas know? I take Phoenix.
I take the Lakers. That's what Vegas knows.
Some blood.
I will tell you right now, there's something about this Lakers team, and you could just see it in that game with Golden State. Just when you
they're champions.
When you think that they're not going to make it, they're going to end up playing Memphis.
You got to knock the champ out, don't you?
You do, and they figure out ways to win. They move AD.
I think Frank Vogel can coach.
I think he can too. I don't know that they love him, players, but he can clearly strategize, and they've got the 2 of the best players in the league. Anthony Davis is about as good inside as anybody is, and he can still go outside. And there's nobody in the last 10 years as good as LeBron James.
And they'll get every call. Atlanta at the Knicks, and the Knicks have sold 15,000 tickets for Madison Square Garden on Sunday. If the Knicks can have 15,000 in COVID-ravaged New York City, if the Grizzlies win, FedEx Forum should be at full attendance, full capacity. 15,000 at the Garden on Sunday. Knicks win the series.
Knicks win the series. I agree. I think Atlanta is a couple of years and maybe a piece away. I think they're okay. I don't think they're a great team. I think the Knicks clearly are much better than anybody dreamed going into the season. I like the Knicks too. And then finally it's Utah on
over
Sunday.
The Grizzlies.
Over the Grizz or Golden State, doesn't matter. I think we all agree Utah is going to win that series. Yeah. Okay. I got Miami, Clips, Brooklyn, Denver, Knicks, Lakers, Utah, Sixers.
Very good.
All right. And there's an hour in the books. We will be busy the rest of the way, too. We are going to Kiowa Island in just a minute. Rex Huggard from the Golf Channel. He comes your way, and we'll talk about this story at the PGA in just a minute.
There's now a faster and easier way to pick up your Corky's Barbecue. Order and pay online, pull into the designated spot, text Corky's to 474747, and we'll bring your order right to your car. No waiting.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Start your engines Mid-South and get ready to ride in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike. Who doesn't want 41 mpg highway today? We Gossett with 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, 14,647 or $179 a month. And take your pick with dynamic redesign in your 2022 Outlander or 2022 all-new Eclipse Cross, now $309 a month. All powered by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Plus, test drive today and you'll receive a free gift card on us. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 500 military rebate, G4 stock number MHF 06296, MSRP 17735, Outlander NZ00 8245, MSRP 27260, Cross NZ00 4494, MSRP 27725, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 5/31/2021, dealer stock only.
The summer of fun is here now at Mario's Pools. Hi, everybody. This is Dave Woloshin from Mario's Pools on Exeter Road. That beautiful pool, well, it just doesn't happen. So call Mario, and his team will be right there to guide you every step of the way if you want to do it yourself, or they'll do it for you. If you need a replacement pool liner, Mario has the best price against all the major competitors, and by the way, the best selection. Call Mario's Pools, easy, 552-3399. That's 552-3399, or just walk in, so easy, in Germantown on Exeter Road. The great thing about Mario is he always takes that extra step. He gets to know you and your pool. He'll do everything he can to make it perfect. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can check out the reviews on Facebook. Don't be a slave to your pool. Call Mario Pools today, 552-3399.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome in hour number 2 on this fabulous Friday afternoon. The big story today is the PGA. We are efforting to go to Kiowa Island to see and chat with Rex Hoggard from the Golf Channel. And Phil Mickelson is obviously the story there. The game tonight is the Grizz and Golden State in elimination game number 2 for the Grizzlies. It'll be the first for the Warriors. It'll be a repeat from last Sunday. Those are the 2 big stories we are working on right now. I got to tell you, there's a little irony to all of this, but today, just a few minutes ago, Brett, I got an email from Southern Hills. I think it's Southern Hills. It may be.
For next year, it is.
Yes. Well, this is amazing. She goes, "Hi, Dave. As the first round of the 21 PGA Championship got underway at Kiowa Island, we want to let you know next year the best in golf will return to the Midwest to compete at the iconic Southern Hills Country Club in Tulsa. Tickets, knowing Tulsa is just a short 2.5-hour drive from Memphis, we thought your listeners would be interested in learning more about this incredible opportunity to witness. So they are asking if we would like to have the PGA Championship Director, Brian Carnes, on. And maybe we'll get him on early next week so he can talk about that. Yeah. And they got a PGA Senior, KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship is happening there this year. So there's a couple different angles.
I went to the PGA at Southern Hills in '82. It was in August, and it was hot as blue blazes.
I played Southern Hills, and it was cold as could be. It was I think it was basketball season, but it was warm enough to play, and Bob Carpenter was able to get us on because that's not the easiest golf course in the world to get.
We
on.
saw Delbert McClinton and Boz Skaggs on Saturday night in concert in Tulsa.
Really?
Yep.
I saw Boz Skaggs.
I can't remember who the opening act was, but it was
I can
1982,
understand that.
Dave.
Exactly.
And 10th degree sunburn. I mean, almost hospitalized sunburn.
1976, I saw Boz Skaggs at Red Rocks outside of Denver. We have some shared things like that. I love that.
Yes, we do.
Talk about that. I think we're efforting and having a tough time getting Rex Hoggard. We will continue to press on with that. And, part of the big discussion here is history. Can Phil Mickelson, at the age of 51, can he put together four rounds? And you have to wonder. And by the way, I should
Two
say,
down.
Louis Oosthuizen now has
He's
tied
halfway
him.
home. He's in better shape than he was yesterday.
He is 4 under through 11 holes, and so that would be the best round of the day if that holds up. And he's only got two
Louis
more.
Oosthuizen, he won a major. He won the British Open in wind-swept conditions.
Yeah.
And I've heard some of the people saying it feels a little more like an Open Championship, but this is not links golf. You've got to play with the ball in there. You can't croquet it around. You can't play it around on the ground.
No, I agree. They call it links style because there's not trees.
That's it. That wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Can you have a real links course in the United States? Doesn't it have to meet the ocean? Is Bandon
I don't
Dunes
know.
considered links?
I think so.
I thought you'd been.
I have not been there. Where I've been is the guy that did Bandon Dunes has done. I was there when he had only done one. Now I think there are 3 in Nova Scotia, and they're beautiful. I mean, they're incredible courses. Same people, same architects, same sort of a deal where you got to walk. You can't take a cart. And that's part of Bandon Dunes too, which is why I got to go to Bandon Dunes soon because
Mossy Oak Links down at West Point. I mean, it's a links course, but it certainly doesn't meet the ocean.
No, and when Hess, Gil Hess, isn't that
Gil Hance?
Hance, when he basically walked that course and cleared things out. He called it a links course.
Mm-hmm.
And
I walked with Ian George one Friday morning,
the
weekend of the Ole Miss Alabama game, and you could really see the golf course. It was about 10 months before opening, but you could really see it coming together and what they had done, and the property just beautiful. It was a dairy farm. It was Nob Hill Dairy Farm, just across the road from Old Waverly, and it is fantastic.
Well, George Bryant, who owns Old Waverly and that golf course, Mossy Oak, he just loves Scottish links courses, and that is why he decided he was going to clear that land to make it a links course, and it would also
have him a links course.
It would also be distinctly different from Old Waverly. So when you go, and he wanted that place in West Point, Mississippi, which there's not a lot there other than those 2 golf courses, but he wanted those golf courses to be an attraction where you would come and you would spend at least one night and you'd have 2 different golf experiences. And don't forget Old Waverly, which I particularly like more than Mossy Oak. Now, maybe when Mossy Oak grows in a little bit better, I'll feel differently. There's a couple of holes that I think are gimmicky on Mossy Oak, but I think Old Waverly is an incredible course, and that is where the U.S. Women's Open was held in, what was it, 2000?
1999.
99. I knew it was close, somewhere in there. We are obviously having a little trouble, and he's very busy. And who knew that you were going to get Phil Mickelson at the top of the leaderboard? That may have added to Rex Hoggard's workload. It's amazing to me. We have 3 South Africans that are either at the top or 2 strokes off. How often does that happen?
They're at the top of the leaderboard on Friday for sure, and Louis Oosthuizen has his major. Brandon Grace is contended, and Bezuidenhout has had a good year so far. Probably will be here in Memphis in August. A lot of this leaderboard, probably the exceptions, Phil Mickelson, will all be here in August. If he wins this weekend, he'll be here.
Yeah, he will be here for sure if he wins this weekend. And then you got two Americans, one that we thought would be a major factor in golf this year and really for the next several years, but has been hurt. Brooks Koepka. It's just amazing to me. He's even today, but he's hanging in 3 under, and he went right in the heart of the wind, along with Hideki Matsuyama and Rory McIlroy. They're in this same pairing. And here's DeChambeau, who's 3 under today. You know what? I think we ought to really recognize that DeChambeau is really good. And DeChambeau is going to be a name we're going to be talking about for the next 10 years.
If that bat can hold up, look at the injuries already to Brooks Koepka, but 196-yard pitching wedge yesterday. Today,
Say that again.
196-yard pitching wedge yesterday. And today on a par 3, I think he hit 9-iron over the green, 220.
Wow, that's an inhuman. Well, today I was watching. I think it was the second hole where you have to hit a drive. You got to carry 260 or 270, and they said in this wind he can't make that, and he didn't. He hit the waste bunker, right in front of the real trouble. Because he took too aggressive a line.
What he does.
It is.
But it's also Herculean what big tournament Brooks Koepka does. Just how he comes to life for these events, and he's doing this on one leg.
Yep. I think we have Rex Hoggard, so that is terrific. Let's
go to Kiowa.
Let's go to Kiowa Island, and Rex, we thank you. I know you're busy. Who would have known you would have this story today with 51-year-old Phil Mickelson backing up a 70 with a 69, 5 under for the championship at age 51. Who would have dreamt that?
I would have lost a lot of money on that bet. And I would have taken that bet, and like I said, I'd lost a lot of money simply because there really hadn't been a lot in his body of work over the last few weeks. I mean, he played well on day 1 in Charlotte a few weeks ago and then just played awful the rest of the week. So even after yesterday's round, my excitement was tempered until I needed to see something back-to-back to get excited, and he threw it out there. And today was hard. I mean, I missed you guys' phone call because I was out on 17. I just kind of wanted to see it firsthand, and it's carnage out there.
It is, except for Louis Oosthuizen, who just birdied number 12, and he's now taking the lead at 6 under par. How is he doing this today? He is now 5 under in this brutal wind.
I can answer that one really quickly. He's doing it because he's only through 12 holes. And Ian Poulter just told a great story. He was 6 under through 12 holes this morning. He looked up on the leaderboard and saw an announcement that said Ian Poulter is 6 under and closing in on the course record, and he just laughed to himself, and he goes, who would write that when they know I have to play that final 5 holes that's coming up, so 14 through 18, essentially. And that's when you turn back into the wind. That's when this golf course bears teeth, and that's when you're going to see players. And Louis may play it even par, and if he does, he's probably picking up 3 strokes on the field, but he's got to get through that before I think he has any chance of hoping he's still in the lead.
Rex, leave it to Sports Talk Radio in Memphis, but we launched it about an hour ago at this time with a lot of ifs, a lot of provisos, a lot of coulda, maybe, shoulda, hopefully, might, and all that stuff, all the provisos around it, all the out language around it. If Phil did it, what's bigger, Phil this year or Golden Bear in 86?
Oh, man, that's a good one because, I mean, it's interesting, 86, Jack was 46, but that was a different time. 46 was probably thought about the same as Phil at 51, if not maybe a little bit older. There was a lot of people who were writing at the time that Jack was past prime and he was done winning. And certainly that dovetails with what a lot of people are writing about Phil. For me personally, I'm still going to go with Jack, but it's going to be close. I mean, it's going to be a big story.
You know, that was my first take on it on 2 Rex, but if you start thinking about it, Mickelson is 5 years older than Jack was. And in this particular course, it's not one he sees every year like Jack saw Augusta National. And then
knew it so well.
let's add this last little thing in. This golf course plays almost 1,000 yards more than when Jack at 46 won in 86. So, man, as much as look, he hasn't done it yet. But if you think he can really do that, I have to factor in those three things. It makes me think it certainly is big, if not slightly bigger.
I mean, it's a good debate. We could sit and have this one for quite a while. If you look back, I would be curious. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but, I mean, I can tell you the last time Phil won, which was 2019 at Pebble Beach. So we're about a year and a half or 2 years removed from that, actually. And so I don't know when that would have correlated with Jack. You know, when did Jack last win before he won the 86 Masters? And it certainly felt, I mean, at the time, probably I wasn't covering the game, but it certainly felt like Jack was past his prime. Whereas with Phil, I think we know that if he could get hot for 1 week, and for Phil, I mean, he'll tell you if he can just stay focused for 1 week, that's been the bigger issue for him, that he can still do special things on the golf course. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that I could easily give the nod to either one of those as being, you know, a greater deal. We all remember when Tom Watson, you know, played Stewart Sink down the stretch at the Open Championship at Troon, and we were having probably a similar conversation at the time. And Phil is older, 5 years older, but like I said, I don't look at Phil as a 51-year-old. I mean, physically, I still see him in his mid-40s. I think, you know, as far as his focus, as far as his game's concerned, maybe 50-ish, but I think physically he's in the best shape of his life, I would argue.
What did he say after this round?
He was pretty low-key, and I think that has a lot to do with what I just pointed out at the top. I mean, he's thrown up good rounds before and then not followed them up very well, and today was a big step. I was actually talking with him tonight about this very thing, and he kind of asked me, what's the over-under on Phil's round today? And we were thinking somewhere around 74, 75. And so for him to go out and to better that score, and again on a golf course that was probably playing harder today than it did yesterday when he shot that 70, I just think that it shows very, very good focus. Now, again, this is going to come down to the weekend, and we're going to have the same wins, and then they're going to flip around on Sunday. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts. He still has a lot of work to do, but it's impressive.
We love it a time zone away and a couple of 100 miles away in Memphis. We love this golf course. We love the setup. We love what Kerry Haig and the PGA they've done. Any players grousing about it? Any players complaining about it? Or what kind of grades are they giving on course setup?
No one's complaining. Everyone's taking deep breaths and probably holding their head in their hands a little bit. It's a hard golf course. Like I said, I was just out on 17, and I think I watched 4 groups and saw one guy hit the green. Actually, with his tee shot, there was a lot of balls in the water, a lot of balls pulled way left. So, I mean, it's going to be difficult with any win, but specifically this win's going to make it difficult. But everybody will tell you, they put water on the greens last night, so they are receptive. The rough's not that bad. And you do have the downwind hole. I mean, when you start on the back nine, 10 through 13, they're gettable. And the same thing for the holes on the front, for the last 4 holes on the front nine, because that's just the way this course flips. And I think that you can go out and do what we see Louis Oosthuizen doing right now, what we saw Ian Poulter do early in the day, but the key of any round getting through those into the win holes. That's where you're going to win it or lose it.
Well, 6 through 13, I saw the graphic on TV a little bit ago, and I think it was for today, but it might be for the whole tournament, but it's those holes are playing 29 under par. What are the players saying about the fairness of it? You're talking about how hard it is, and a lot of that has to do with length and these wins. But do they think it's a fair setup?
They do. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard one person grouse. And I think that's got everything to do with, you brought up Kerry Haig and PGA of America. And their philosophy is not to beat guys up. They want a fair test. This isn't the U.S. Open. They don't want the setup in the golf course to become the story. You see, like I said, they put a lot of water probably on the greens last night to keep them rolling and being receptive, so at least they would hold shots that were hit well. They also moved up a lot of tees. I mean, I think Ian kind of went through it. I haven't done the math yet, but he said those last 4 holes on the back nine that we're talking about, 14 through 18, he said they probably are playing those over 200 yards shorter than what they probably could play on the scorecard.
Huh.
So it gives you an idea how fair Kerry and the rest of the crew are trying to be here.
Yeah, I just love it, and I hope that they get back to Kiowa quite a bit. I know they're booked well into the future. For some of the bigger names that aren't going to be around, which one kind of surprised you? Which one do you thought maybe was building to having a good week and now hope's dashed? He's still got a lot of work to do today, but if he finishes under par, how about the 6 rounds of this year in majors for Hideki Matsuyama? But more to the kind of the negative and guys that won't be around, Rex.
I'm going to wait for Rory. I mean, he's still on the golf course. I think he still has a chance. Depending on how things go, again, he's got to play that difficult stretch, so he's going to have to do something pretty special to be around for the weekend. And if he does not make the cut, that would probably be the biggest surprise to me because he came in here with so much momentum after that victory in Charlotte. Obviously, what he did here in 2012 when he lapped the field by 8 strokes. And Dustin Johnson, a little bit of a surprise, but it's becoming less of a surprise. Now that he's missed back-to-back cuts in a major, he doesn't look like the world number one right now. And that's not to say that he can't turn a switch pretty quickly. We've seen him do it in the past, but it's not full-on concern quite yet, but we're inching in that territory. And depending on how things go at the U.S. Open next month, we could be heading to where we could point to the world number one and say, yes, he's in a slump.
Or he's hurt, one or the other, because he's certainly not fast enough. Just so you know, Rory McIlroy's 2 under now today, 1 over. I know he's got that tough stretch because he's only playing 11 at the moment, but he'd have to have disaster, I think, not to make the cut. The other guy that's hurt is Brooks Koepka, and he's even par so far. So that's for today. 3 under for the tournament. Are you surprised that he is functioning as well as he is? And Rory just went to even par. He just birdied 11. Excuse me.
I like Rory's chances. To your point about Brooks, and when I was coming on, I heard you guys saying that he's doing this on one leg. I'd give him a leg and a half.
Okay.
I do think he's made some progress since the Masters, and it was obviously bothering him at the Masters. He hadn't been able to practice. Those hills at Augusta took a toll, and this is a different week. I mean, he's not real close to 100%, and he'll tell you that, but he's close enough that when you put him on a golf course like this, that's demanding, and we've seen it time and time again from Brooks. He wants that tough test. I think he almost has a tendency to lose focus when he goes to these golf courses where 20 under is going to win and you got to make a lot of birdies. He'd rather be in a situation like this where it's going to keep your attention on every single shot. And we're seeing a little bit more of that, and we're seeing a little bit more of the power that we're used to seeing. And again, not 100%, but certainly an impressive start.
I got to ask you about DeChambeau, who we saw what he did with the U.S. Open. Obviously, he was disappointed with the Masters. He's playing well this afternoon, and he's got this thing to 3 under par for the tournament because he's 3 under today.
I think when I looked at him earlier in the week and you point out what he did at Winged Foot, and that was impressive, and I think there were a lot of people who doubted him, including me. I just didn't think that style, that power game, would hold up on a classic golf course where the theory is you have to hit fairways. And I kind of had a similar thought coming into this because not so much as rough, but there's a lot of trouble out there. It's a Pete Dye golf course. Everyone's seen it on TV. I mean, you're always looking at something bad off of every tee, and he even talked about it. He can hit it a long way, but he's got a foul ball, and his foul balls go a long way in the wrong direction. And it only takes 1 or 2 of those to end up in a really bad spot, and we've seen it for 2 days now. And he's avoided that today. He didn't yesterday. I mean, he had to struggle to shoot the score he posted up yesterday. And if he can finish up at 3 or maybe even a little bit better, I like his chances on the weekend. But there's that creeping suspicion that he's only 1 swing away from a big number.
Yeah, it always kind of feels really fragile with him. Right now, the top 5, Oosthuizen, Mickelson, Koepka, DeChambeau, and Hovland. 4 of those 5, they have a major. Is this Victor Hovland's time?
Could be. He was a favorite for a lot of people coming into this week, and certainly he's been playing really, really well. And, I mean, the trick is in these conditions, I mean, it's less so about power than it is just being able to make solid contact swing after swing after swing. I mean, you don't have to do anything special other than you can't be loose out there. And if you look at Victor Gott, what he does best, that's solid ball striking, and you can see it in these conditions. He hasn't putted great, but it shows you how well he's striking the ball that he's gaining so many strokes on the field just with what's in his hands.
Justin Thomas just birdied 11, so he's now at 5, which is very close to making the cut, but he's got those tough holes in front of him. What's wrong with Justin Thomas, Rex Hoggard?
I actually picked him to win this week, so I didn't think anything was wrong with him. Maybe something's wrong with me that I ended up picking him. I guess that's a longer conversation. I
picked him too.
I think with JT, and I felt like I just had the conversation about Victor. I felt like he's one of the best iron players in the game, and that was going to be a big deal. This is a second shot golf course, a long second shot golf course, and he just hasn't hit it very, very well, and his putting has been a little streaky. I mean, obviously, he putted really well at the Players' Championship to get that big victory. But otherwise, if you look at his results this season, he's been kind of inconsistent, and we're seeing a little bit of those two things today.
All right, last thing for Rex Hoggard from the Golf Channel. We're so happy that you could give us some of your time today. We know it's busy on a Friday afternoon at a major championship, but here we are. Almost at the completion of this, so give us now. You have a chance to change from Justin Thomas. Who is your 103rd PGA champion going to be?
I love mulligans. Give me a mulligan every time.
Okay,
I love
there you
idea
go.
that.
I'm giving it to you.
That's right. I'll take it. Absolutely, I'll take it. If I had to go down the board right now, and I spent a lot of time talking about Phil, again, don't know if he has 2 more rounds left in him. And I had a lot of bad things to say about DeChambeau as well, but the fact that he's been able to do it for 2 days, I certainly like it. So if I had to pick someone off the board, I'm going to go with Bryce.
Wow. You rip him and then you take him. I love it.
I know.
Rex, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Enjoy the weekend, Rex.
Enjoy, really.
Thanks, guys.
Will we see you here in August for the WGC Memphis?
I will not. No, I'm doing the Olympics, so we had to split that up. You'll have my colleague, Brian Lavner, who's looking forward to it. He hasn't covered that event in a long time, so he'll take care of you guys.
Okay. Hey, you know what? One last little thing. I'm sorry, but I just see DeChambeau taking out a rangefinder. I got to ask you, what is the consensus amongst the pros about the use of rangefinders?
I was first. I'm going to start with something very, very personal. I didn't think it was going to help. I thought it was going to hurt pace of play because my thought coming into this was, okay, they're going to use the rangefinder, and then they're going to do all the other stuff they do anyway, pace it off, look at the book, and it was just going to add another layer. And I just thought it was well intentioned by the PGA of America. I understand what they're trying to do by speeding up play. I just didn't think it was going to work. But I was talking with a player and a caddy last night, and they were just dead set that. I mean, their comment to me was there'll be rangefinders on the PGA Tour next year. Wow. They like it that much. I love them. Some weird stuff, but yeah, I think it's cool.
Buy stock in rangefinders.
There you go. Bushnell, baby. Buy Bushnell. Thank you, Rex. We appreciate it. This time we'll let you go for real.
See you guys.
Okay. That is Rex Hoggard live from Kiowa Island, where he loves going to the 7th hole because the players are getting killed on the 17th hole. This hour of the show presented by the good folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. Luxury, the best bang for your dollar when it comes to luxury cars, and there's nobody close. Ask anybody who's had different luxury cars over the years and they've tried a Genesis. They are in love with the Genesis, whether it's the G70, fastest could be, the best performing car I've ever owned, the G80, sort of the middle size of the G90, which is just a wash and a luxurious feel as you drive. And then there's the GV80, that SUV that no one can keep on the lot because they keep getting sold so quickly. There's going to be a GV70, a smaller SUV that is coming around football time. Man, I am telling you, this product is really good. People love it. It's so good and durable that you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on that car, and you get it on the Hyundais too. And we know about the safety of the Hyundais. And then there's the service that you get at Homer and Genesis of Olive Branch. They're going to give you a 3 or 36,000-mile maintenance package because they want to take care of you. That's the way they think, and the team's been together 13 or 14 years. Go see what I'm talking about. Get on Lamar. It's Highway 78 when you get into Mississippi. Exit 1, Craft Road, the very first one. So close. Turn left, and you'll see what I'm talking about at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. We take a break. We're going to switch gears. We'll talk some baseball with our expert. That's Tim Doolin. He comes your way right after this.
Sports 56 mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Zane. Weekday mornings from 7 till 10 on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you are treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Gossett Kia on Covington Pike is celebrating Memorial Day all month long, and we can put you in a new Kia for less than $5 a day. 2021 Kia Forte $139 a month, 2021 Kia Soul $179 a month, and 2021 Kia K5 built in America $199 a month. All 36-month leases only $3,049 to its signing. Plus, peace of mind you can trust with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Forte $139 a month lease, Soul $179 a month lease, K5 $199 a month lease. So hurry to Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, online KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Zero security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte ME358110, MSRP $20,590. Sold M7776411, MSRP $21,960. K5 MG005197, MSRP $26,170. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives. PF $695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
Now, more of Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
We're going to take you into the weekend. An hour left on this show because we got Ole Miss baseball coming your way with David Kellum. That will be at 5:30. We're going to talk baseball here in just a minute. When I think about Tim Doolin and baseball, somehow I go back to our mutual friend, Fred Edmiston, and that's Miramichi. And I will tell you, again, I do this for all of you. I'm doing research and development tomorrow.
Great sacrifice, Dave. Your sacrifice is appreciated by all of us.
I really am glad that
you're
you
going
are.
to get there early and check out everything,
you understand
the practice area.
I'm going to check the practice area for sure. I will. There is that new full-service bar that is on the patio that's got food now, too.
What a guy.
A couple of TVs.
To make that commitment on his weekend for us. That's big of you, Dave.
When I'm done, I'm going to be watching the PGA up there just to make sure that the big screen TVs are perfect for you guys.
That's right.
I mean, look, 7,400 yards of Miramichi. Now, I'll be at the 6,400-yard mark. I think that's about what the golds are. I do know this. It's on 330 acres of absolute natural beauty. There's no prettier place in the world than Miramichi. There really is not. And that view on that patio that you overlook 9 and 18 can't get any better. And you can't get any more competitive golf either. It's just beautiful. That walk through the back 9 there is like a walk through the woods with a stream and a waterfall and everything else. I mean, it's gorgeous. Look, Golf Week's best 2020 golf courses by state. Miramichi was in there for the state of Tennessee. If you haven't been there yet, you are really missing something, that is for sure. And if you've been there, you know now the deals are incredible. Senior golf Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for $30. That includes golf cart and complimentary range. All the greens fees include a golf cart and range balls and practice area. It's Nirvana. It's Miramichi. And we go to our guy who appreciates Miramichi, that is for sure.
Tim, isn't it something to Dave, the sacrifice he makes for this show?
Yeah, he's a hard worker, and he's a team player.
Yeah.
You got to have team players.
There you go.
Yeah, you do.
And we've got amazing.
Only as strong as our weakest link.
He didn't. He knew I was in town, and he didn't invite me, and he didn't invite you, Stats. But he's a team player.
Well, Stats doesn't really play any more than 4 or 5 holes at a time now, and
But I'd love to be around, especially and hang with Tim. I mean, I would have loved the invitation tomorrow.
We will do that soon.
Skylar's
how
not
is
busy
that?
tomorrow. Skylar, you good for I mean, we all could be there, but that's okay.
Skylar, you're busy. I know.
I don't think y'all want to see me on a golf course, honestly.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll
drive the cart.
Okay. I play with Tim. Tim can play a little bit, so that we will have a lot of fun. We will go out to Miramichi sometime soon. In the meantime, what we really want to talk with you about are 2 unreal rivalry series going on simultaneously this week in St. Louis. The Cubs, hot as a pistol right now.
You think that's a rivalry?
I know that's a rivalry. Cubs, Cards, and then there's the Dodgers and the Giants way out on the West Coast. I mean, we got some good baseball coming up this weekend.
I think that's the second best rivalry in baseball because they took it across the country and kept that contempt. I think it's Yankees, Red Sox 1, Tim, and then Giants, Dodgers 2, and Cardinals, Cubs 3.
That's pretty accurate. And the interesting thing about it is these are some great rivalries, great matchups this weekend. But when you look at typically this time of year, we're talking about the National League Central of being up in the air, and it's going to stay that way through the All-Star break. But I think you got the National League West, you got the National League East, with the Mets, Phillies, and Marlins, and really the Braves.
Got to get the Braves
and
hot.
the Nationals. You're talking about 4.5 games that separates the Mets from the Nationals. I think that division's very intriguing to me as well.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. You know what, and I agree with that order of rivalry. I think that's fair on the money. But for me, the best rivalry is the Cubs and the Cardinals because that's the one.
It's so friendly. It's so friendly that it may hurt it with the friendly nature of it, where the contempt is so heavy in Sox, Yankees, Giants, Dodgers. I know you can always find an outlier case, but Cardinal fans can go to Wrigley and enjoy, and Cub fans can come to Busch Stadium and enjoy themselves, and they can be in a family setting at both places.
That's
yeah,
true.
and you're not gonna see many brawls in the stands or in the parking lot like you might at these other two locations.
You're right about that.
You could get clocked at those other ones, and we've had really sad incidents.
Speaking of Sox,
Dodgers, Giants.
Sox, Yankees. The White Sox play the Yankees in a good series starting tonight too. So there are, as you said, a lot of great series. Interesting comment from Clayton Kershaw today on all the no hitters. 6 no hitters, really 7 if you count Mad Bum. He says bad for baseball. They deaden the ball. That dead ball is the culprit. He didn't exactly term it that way, but that's basically what he said.
That's what he meant.
How many no-hitters are we going to end up having, Tim Doolin?
I don't know. I mean, probably, obviously I think we're going to see more than 10, but here's what I don't like. I don't know that it's the ball. I talked to Mookie, and he didn't really comment that much on the ball. I think it's the state of the game, the type of a game we're playing. I was in Nashville this week, had spent 2 hours at a lunch with Dan O'Dowd, and obviously full of wisdom. He's an analyst on MLB Now, former GM and vice president of Rockies. He thinks the first thing we got to do is eliminate the shift, and then we got to get back to. And he did a great segment the other day. We put it all out on Twitter. Is the owners and everybody, we've got to get back to playing baseball. We talked about it last week on the show. The strikeouts are not a big deal. Players realize that they're getting paid to hit a home run, so they're going to take 600 at bat, swing as hard as they can, and if they catch 30 balls out of 600, they're getting paid. Big league pitchers, you're seeing more and more injuries because you saw Dustin May go down, who's really the future of one of the future pitchers for the Dodgers, who's throwing 100 miles an hour. And the mode now is to throw as hard as you can for as long as you can. And if you have Tommy John, you sit out a year. Well, the owners are all for that because you're not going to see many pitchers, I don't think, in the future if it continues to go this way, you're not going to see many pitchers getting long-term deals. They're just not going to happen. And so that helps the owners out, but it hurts the players. And I think there's just got to be an adjustment to – you can't – and we're talking about the draft coming up in July, guys. You can't truly scout players that are hitting home runs in high school and college and striking out a lot and say, oh, this plays in the big leagues. You better go out and find really good baseball players that are fundamentally sound, and then you project those guys. Mookie Betts did not hit home runs in high school, didn't hit them in the minor leagues, and really didn't start hitting home runs in the big leagues for 2 or 3 years. So take good players, develop those players into whatever you want to develop them. And you can't draft guys in college that are throwing 98 miles an hour, but they can't command a fastball and they can't command the strike zone. You're seeing more and more guys get hurt because these guys are just throwing as hard as they can. You saw that. You saw Kevin Pillar the other night about get his face taken off. By the Reds pitcher. I mean, it's a sad state I think that we're in, and I think Manfred's really done a poor job of listening to the wrong people. I really do.
When you talk about taking away the shift, you brought this up before, and the way you talked about it, I could live with. I don't think you should be able to just totally take away maneuvering of the defensive players, but your thing about having to be on the dirt, that there would be parameters as to how far you could shift, I might be able to live with that. Why don't you explain that again?
I think they need to be on the dirt, but I really think that there should be the 2 infielders on one side of the diamond and 2 on the other side. I just don't think that the game was drawn up to be played like they're playing it right now. And I understand tendencies, but at the end of the day, you better think about the fans because they're the ones that are paying the players and making the owners money.
So when
you better listen to the fans. I don't think fans are enjoying going and watching games. And look, we all agree. I love baseball, but it can become a boring sport to watch if you're not a passionate baseball fan. Well, if it continues to go this route, those passionate fans are going to turn into, oh, I like it, okay, but I'm just not going to go watch guys strike out 15 times in a game and see a few home runs and maybe see a guy throw a no-hitter. I think that's why you really heard Kershaw. Kershaw, without saying the game needs to be adjusted, he just said blame it on the ball. It's not the baseball. Think about it. Yeah, well, if you're using a little bit, you deaden the ball a little bit. A line drive's going to fall, so you're going to get a hit. These guys are trying to hit home runs and they're hitting fly balls and striking out.
No,
and Tim, we are constantly complaining about something in baseball from baseball people, like the 3 of us. We're baseball fans, diehards. I mean, it's your occupation, it's your livelihood, and we love it. To a degree, it's ours. Talking about it, but I had a friend of mine tell me, he said, Brett, for somebody that says they love baseball so much, I've never heard anybody complain so much about their sport as you do, and we do constantly drill it. There's plenty to drill. Rob Manfred starting out, but we were complaining when they were hitting home runs. Now we're complaining when they're pitching no hitters. We seem to constantly complain, and I know some would say, yeah, but you love it that much and it's passion. And I've talked about it about fan bases. Kentucky basketball fans, Alabama football fans, to a degree, Tiger basketball fans. You almost squeeze the team and something you love too much. Do we squeeze baseball too tight? Do we love it too much?
I don't think so. I mean, what do you think would happen if we shortened the 3-point line in the NBA and in college basketball? Fans, they're not playing inside enough. I mean, they're not going to the basket enough. Whatever. I don't think the everyday fan is enjoying the game today like they did, say, 6 years ago. I just don't think they are. And if they don't continue to market the game to all athletes to encourage them to play, you're going to see less and less kids playing at the younger age groups.
I think you're right. I don't know about the shift. You say, like, when you're saying you got to have 2 guys on the right side and 2 guys on the left, but can you bring them up to the bag? Can they go as far as the bag? Like, can the second baseman be over second base?
Yeah, I would say that you got it.
That's your boundary?
That's your boundary, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
I can live with that because I am in agreement with your premise that the baseball fan liked the game better 6 years ago because it was a better game, and I blame hitters and hitting coaches that have this new launch philosophy where home runs are accepted and strikeouts are accepted in the same vein.
Yeah, but why is that? Because they've allowed the shift. So if you look up and you're a dead pull hitter, and they've got three guys and one playing like a softball player in mid right field, you're not going to get a ground ball through the infield.
A rover.
So what are you encouraged to do? They're telling you swing for the fences. They've made you.
You got to hit it over them.
Well, no, because you could go the other way. There's a big gap.
But they're not getting paid to go the other way. They're getting paid to hit home runs. So what I'm saying is the philosophy of teams have to make adjustments and say, we're going to go as an organization, we're going to draft baseball players. When the Red Sox drafted Mookie Betts, when the Angels drafted Mike Trout, they drafted baseball players. They didn't draft a softball home run hitter. I think I mentioned this in last week's segment.
Yeah.
You can use all the sabermetrics and all that you want. If you watch last year's World Series, Mookie Betts scoring those two key runs in those games on ground balls to first was not anything to do with sabermetric. It was all about an athlete with instincts, which equates to a baseball player.
Mm-hmm. Tim, after seeing Jack Leiter last Saturday for Vanderbilt, let me give you my scouting report on him. You ready?
Yeah.
He's big league ready right now.
He's big league ready because he fits the mold of what the big leagues are looking for. It's max effort, okay? Every pitch is max effort. So, and he's really good. He's lightning good. I think for him to have a long career in the big leagues, he's going to have to be able to pitch, much like his dad did, much like his uncle did, who I played with and against. Because at some point in time, look, he's going to blow out. All these guys are going to blow out. I'm just telling you. You can't throw 5 innings at 96 to 99 miles an hour. Look at DeGrom. He just went on the DL. He's back. He's already had Tommy John.
Yeah.
You just watch. You're going to see these pitchers, the starting pitchers' careers are going to be shortened, not lengthened.
He was pumping gas last
But
Saturday.
he's good.
Ooh,
He's really good.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Rocker's good.
Who wins the two series? Cubs, Cards, Dodgers, and Giants.
I think the Dodgers are starting to get on track. Mookie's getting a little hotter. Albert's come in and been a huge shot at B12 for him, and I think Albert's got a chip on his shoulder. Hit a home run last night, knocked in 2, knocked in a big run his first night.
Yeah, how about that?
Especially for now, while they've got so many guys banged up. I like the Dodgers in that series, although the Giants are playing great. And I think the Cardinals are going to probably win that series.
What?
I know you didn't want to hear it.
Well, I
know you didn't want to hear it.
I have you on here for your brutal honesty, and then on Monday when I call you,
that's right.
I'll
wear
tell
it. If the Cubs win, I'll wear it.
All right, I love it. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, guys.
Have a great one.
Take care. That is our man on baseball, Tim. He's brought to you in part by another place I got to do research on. He's brought to you by the commissary. And you know what? It's Friday night. It's beautiful outside. I'm going to take home. I think I'll go through the drive-thru because it's so darn easy. But I need help. What should I get tonight? Gail loves dry
pull up to the drive-thru
ribs.
and say one of everything. Get the dry ribs.
Gail loves the dry
shoulder.
ribs. I do. I love the shoulder. She'll give me one of the dry ribs. I probably will go shoulder. I think I should start. What do you think? Nachos? It's a little messy to take home, but
no, just perfect. How it's packaged, everything's
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
You can eat on them watching golf over the weekend.
Oh yeah, because you can't eat the whole thing at once. No way. No way. I think that's perfect. Maybe get some iced tea. I know you want the icebox lemon pie, which is pretty close to, like, my wife loves key lime pie, but I think that the icebox lemon pie is so special at the commissary I should go that way. You know, I think I got it. I thank you. I thank you. And I thank all of you guys for listening, because you should be doing the same thing. Get to either of the commissaries, the Collierville commissary with the easy drive-through. That is at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. The one in Germantown that's been there forever, easy to get to, too, right there in that little quaint area of downtown Germantown. Can't beat it. Can't beat the commissary. Make it easy on yourself on a Friday night. Go there and be a hero at home. We take a break. When we come back, we'll update you on the leaderboard, because we have a new leader who had an eagle on 7, an eagle on 11, a birdie on 12. He now sits atop the leaderboard. We'll tell you who he is, and we all like him because he was pretty good here in Memphis. We'll tell you who that is in just a minute.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through lunch daily from 10 to 1.
Well, lunch is served.
Only on Sports 56, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
You hear the phrase all day, every day. In these uncertain times this, in these uncertain times that. Well, in these uncertain times, one thing I know for certain, you want you some Central Barbecue. Central Barbecue is open for you to dine in or carry out, online orders and curbside pickup. And another thing you can be certain about is this. We are doing everything in our power to keep you and our staff safe. You can be sure that everyone working at any Central Barbecue is following every safety protocol there is, and they'll encourage you to do the same. Come on in and get some Central Barbecue. And yes, your face covering is probably going to end up with some sauce on it. A small price to pay for safety.
Swerving, speeding, and reckless driving can leave you in your own dust. Drag racing has its consequences. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. So slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Now, more of Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in as we get ready for the Grizzlies tonight and the Golden State Warriors. We're going to talk to Andy Schiffman about that in about 10 minutes or so. Right now, he's stalking. Isn't that what they used to say about the Golden Bear when he was making a charge and coming back?
He is.
That is exactly what Brooks,
big game hunter,
Koepka is doing right now. An eagle on 7, an eagle on 11, and that's one of the hard holes. Oh, no, that's not. I'm sorry. It's after 13. And he birdied 13, so he has gone crazy, and he's
playing 13.
He's playing
barely stayed up on 13.
He did. It's amazing. It's downwind, and he overshot a little bit to the right and overshot it a little bit.
And that hole, isn't that Pete Dye kind of his?
Yes.
Doesn't that just scream him?
Yes, it does. You got the he's right up against where the wood would be. He's got a putt at it, though, for a birdie.
The ubiquitous railroad ties. I mean, he was big on that, and I love this golf course. And Brooks Koepka, he won PGA number 100 at Belle Reve when I was there. He won 101 the next year at Bethpage Black. He didn't win last year. You throw in a U.S. Open or two in there for him, it's something. He gets up for the majors and the WGC, and that's what golf is now, isn't it?
You heard Rex Hoggard. When the golf course is a test, when 21 or 22 under isn't going to win it, when it's going to take 7, 8, 10, 11 under, which is exactly what Southwind is too, when you've got those kind of tracks that take every bit of focus on every single shot, that's where Brooks Koepka plays great. And that's why he's now tied with Oosthuizen at 6 under, and Phil is
he's
at
not
5
worried
under.
about the Greater Milwaukee Open. He's not.
No.
And he gets up for these events, and Rex said 1.5 legs. He's moving around better today
He
than
seems
he was
to be
yesterday.
moving along just fine.
Yeah. A little heat will help, and it's not hot, but a little warmer for him.
Well,
He
you
had
know,
nothing in
it's
Augusta.
amazing how you don't mind that Brooks Koepka puts a little heat, a little analgesic on that leg, but you let a horse like Medina Spirit have some, and you go crazy.
I didn't mind. I didn't care what they did. I do care that they not mistreat him, but I didn't think they were mistreating that animal. Again, the person that's a jockey. I think Lafitte Penkai said it was the equivalent of one drop of water in a backyard swimming pool.
I think he did say that. How much ado about nothing.
And I love Lafitte Penkai because remember in his heyday, what his diet consisted of?
Nothing.
In his heyday of riding, one non-salted peanut a day.
Oh, come on. That's all he ate? You couldn't live on that.
During the season.
During a riding season?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord. How do you survive that? One non-salted peanut a day, you must have drunk a lot of water. Must have had some protein in it or something. My gosh. That is I don't remember that one, but I'm sure you're on the money with it. Oh, wow. That is crazy. I got the feeling Justin Thomas is not going to make the weekend.
I want a handful of salted peanuts.
Yeah.
Like 25 of them.
Well, you're going to be eating crow on your pick on Justin Thomas.
I'm afraid so. And on not Cameron Champ, but Cameron T137.
Oh.
No Champ.
No. It looks like Rory McIlroy at even par is easily going to make the cut. And
there was a time it looked like all our picks were going to miss the cut, but now it's turned around for some.
Scotty.
Rory's going to make it.
You know what?
Charlie Hoffman's in good shape. Jordan Spieth's in better shape. Xander Schauffele's may squeak in.
Yeah.
If the fives get in, Justin Thomas gets in.
Well,
Andrew Sullivan won't. Charles Schwartzel won't. Cameron T139 won't.
How about DJ Dustin Johnson not going to make it? But there are plenty of great guys.
One of
the guys I almost picked as my shock, amongst the 3 or 4 that I kept debating on. Steve Stricker +3. He's in it.
Stricker.
Hey, let me just tell you this.
You've had 9 picks, Dave.
I was thinking Stricker, Keegan Bradley, Oosthuizen, and Schwartzel.
Koepka, Phil, Grace.
No, those are the others.
Hovland,
Phil could have been a shock.
Connors. You love Connors this time yesterday. Streelman, you picked him before.
Let me just say this. Phil wasn't even in my mind as a possible shock.
None. Wouldn't have been in a 20-person field for me.
No.
If I'd had 20 picks, I wouldn't have picked Phil.
No way. I mean, this would be one of the great all-time
Could be fun
upsets.
Sunday.
It should be. Because there's now a pretty good leaderboard that is up there. I was a little worried
so
for a
I
while.
mentioned Norman in that group against Nicklaus in '86. If Koepka's in the mix, Koepka's better than he's certainly won more majors than Norman. He's better than Norman '86, isn't he?
I think so. I mean, because Norman had a short window where he was really good, but Norman, hate to say it,
won an Open Championship.
Norman
gave a bunch of them away.
Justin Thomas just gave one away. He's now moved back another one. He just missed a 4-footer or less. He's now +6. Norman had I'm going to say about a 2-year to 3-year real nice run, but he kept choking away stuff. Look, what he did at Augusta and gave Nick Faldo a green coat.
In '96.
And
how he lost to Bob Tway in '86 PGA.
Well, that was unfortunate. That Bob Tway hit an unbelievable shot.
He found the House of Horrors. He always would.
He did. He did. I think Koepka, because Koepka until
Buzzy
he got
in the
injured,
playoff,
you know what?
in U.S. Open.
I'm going to tell you that I think Koepka's knee injuries have probably cost him one more major, because I think in the interim here he would have had another one. He was on a really good roll. He played great in Memphis when he won that WGC.
Well, he pounded Rory.
He just absolutely crushed him, no question about that. This final portion of hour number 2 is brought to you by Grind City Brewing. If you are looking for something new that you might not have tried, although almost everybody now knows about Grind City Brewing, a great restaurateur friend of ours. Boy, did he stock up yesterday on some. Grind City Brewing it's a father-son duo. It's been a dream. They wanted this brewery, and they built one in Uptown. It's fantastic. Go see the tap room, 5,000 square feet of gorgeousness. It'd be beautiful to sit out there on their patio today and look at the bridges and the green expanse. Beautiful. And then there's the product, and one of those is this craft malt liquor, which, by the way, is the official craft beer of the U of M, Tiger Tails. It's a malt liquor, but it's not like any malt liquor you've ever had. It's craft. It's crafted with a bold and smooth flavor. It's got 7.5% alcohol, so it's got a kick. But then there's the finish that makes it so drinkable and so popular. It started off in that brewery, then it went to great spirit shops like the Spirit Shop, Poplar and St. Nick. But now you can get it in Kroger. There's a demand for it, and Kroger answered. They've got Tiger Tail. Tiger Tail and Grind City Brewing taking care of beerness in Memphis. We take this quick timeout. When we return, we'll be joined by our agent in Chicago. We'll talk Grizz and the Warriors and the NBA playoffs with the one and only Andy Schiffman. He comes your way in just a minute.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
As physicians, we know that what we do now will affect the future for us all.
The COVID-19 vaccine is now available. It's safe and very effective, and it's a great defense against coronavirus.
But we still need to continue to mask up, socially distance, and get tested.
Getting vaccinated will help us all get back to some semblance of normalcy.
Let's get vaccinated and tell your friends and family to do the same.
Memphis and Shelby County, get vaccinated. It's our best shot.
Whether you're driving for distance, pitching for precision, or putting to win it all, come to Edwin Watts Golf Shop to get custom fit for all your clubs throughout your bag. Hit a few balls and let our team show you the latest swing technology and data that will help optimize your game. Having each club tailored to become your gamers will help you start shooting lower scores. Let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you make every shot the perfect one. Come in and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Start your engines, Mid-South, and get ready to ride in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike. Who doesn't want 41 mpg highway today? We Gossett with 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $14,647 or $179 a month. And take your pick with dynamic redesign in your 2022 Outlander or 2022 all-new Eclipse Cross, now $309 a month. All powered by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Plus, test drive today and you'll receive a free gift card on us. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 500 military rebate, G4 stock number MHF 06296, MSRP 17735, Outlander NZ00 8245, MSRP 27260, Cross NZ00 4494, MSRP 27725, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax not on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 5/31/2021, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Final half hour of the week. We're out a little early at 5:30 for Ole Miss baseball against Georgia. We'll have Taco Bell crunch time before we close. We'll have Andy Schiffman after I tell you about the title sponsor of this hour every day. That's DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County for that town and country experience that you've come to know, love, enjoy, and trust. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and the surrounding area. Every make, every model. If it's not on the lot, they'll go find it for you. Unlimited inventory, even in these challenging times, to find the cars they can at DeSoto Auto Sales, where you're treated like family by kind, courteous employees, laid-back atmosphere, no high-pressure sales, but they want you to have the ultimate car experience because they know we live in a world today that time matters. That's why you can find the car of your dreams, test drive it, credit approved, paperwork completed, and you're gone in 45 minutes or less at DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road. Check out the cars online at DeSotoAutoSales.com, but get down to Goodman Road, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County for that town and country experience at DeSoto Auto Sales.
We will join our friend Andy Schiffman here in a minute. I just have to let you know, with Oosthuizen and with Koepka at the top of the leaderboard at 6 under par, they are about to play 14 through 18. Those
I wish them well.
Finishing holes are averaging 3.2 strokes over par. So if they were like the rest of the field, they'll end up at 3 under par when all this is said and done. So let's watch as this all unfolds. It's going to be just a fabulous weekend. And, you know, they're on top, Phil Mickelson, with the story of the day. At age 51, he is at 5 under. In the meantime, the other big story tonight, that's the Grizzlies and the Warriors repeat. And we bring in our agent in Chicago, our friend Andy Schiffman. You got to be excited. This is going to be a heck of a game tonight.
No, I think it will. And look, let's hope for a different result from last Sunday and hope the Grizzlies can work some magic and get a win. I think that's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, especially if you watch the game the other night, the Warriors-Lakers game. The Warriors held a commanding 9-point lead going into the second half, and then LeBron decided to fake an eye injury and then just fell off. But
fake an eye injury? Do you really? Now he did get hit.
He's dramatic.
He did.
But he did catch
Draymond
one.
pulled his hands down. Here's what I think about. Look, I agree. Not to cut you off, Dave. Brett, I think you're right. He is dramatic, and I do tend to think, and you saw when he came back from this ankle injury, I do tend to think he likes to play up any time he's injured, so then he can go out there and produce and hit that shot like he hit that deep three to basically solidify the win against the Warriors the other night. And it's just all part of the LeBron legacy, and he loves it.
He grew up in a Cleveland. He grew up in an area around Cleveland that had one of the all-time guys. They said that Jim Brown could play possum with the best of them, that he had the other team thinking he can barely get back to the huddle. How's he going to carry the ball on the next carry? And then here comes that truckload of ferocity at him. And I think LeBron can play a little possum and reel the other team in.
Right. I agree with that.
He's been around for 20 years.
He didn't learn that from Jim Brown, though. When Jim Brown was doing that, he was a gleam in his father's eye, maybe.
He said he was from the area. Being in the NBA for 20 years and understanding. Look, he said it last year when they won the championship, right? He said, I want my bleep respect, and this is a way for him to get it. Now, he's been out for the most part of this year. Now you got a relatively healthy Lakers team. They're going to be dangerous to face in this playoff. I don't doubt that he got injured. I do think in the back of his head he's playing this. He's using this as leverage to just add to the story, add to the legacy that is LeBron James. And look, I'm a sucker for it. I love watching it. I love watching it. And him go in the line, hit these free throws, but hit that deep three. Doesn't mean I'm rooting for the Lakers. I'm just a basketball fan.
Well, that deep three was lucky as could be. He hoisted that up at the end. He had to get rid of it.
Knocked it down.
That was very fortunate.
He knocked it down,
him.
though. And when he let it go, you knew it was going in. Do you think that took a little of the wind out of Golden State sails? They were rolling along, Steph being Steph.
Absolutely.
And I think I've called it. I think the Grizzlies win tonight. And I'm not trying to be Captain Memphis.
I hope you're right, Brett. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. Look, the last two games, the Warriors hit 15 threes. When the Grizzlies played them the other night, I believe they hit, 6 threes?
Yes, 15-6. That's exactly right.
Yeah, you got to limit turnovers. You got to get to the line, and you have to contain their three-point shooting. And I'm not talking about Steph. Steph is going to be Steph Curry. You saw what he's done in the last few games, not only the last week, the whole season. That's why he's in the conversation to be an MVP deservedly. So You've got to stop an Andrew Wiggins from killing you. You've got to stop a Jordan Poole from getting hot because he can get hot in a hurry. You got to stop Draymond Green.
Were you listening earlier? Because that's what I said was Poole. You can't let Poole have, what do you have, 19 points in that game? You cannot let that happen. I agree.
Yep.
And I got to
hold the satellites down.
And this is a tough question for you because we know you have a couple of bench players on the Memphis team. But I strongly think that Taylor Jenkins has to do what he did in the fourth quarter against San Antonio the other night and shorten his rotation, not make wholesale substitutions. He has to have at least 2 starters out all the time. He cannot go with the lineup that he did to start the second quarter in the game against San Antonio when he got outscored 20-3 because he had 6 bench players out there.
Yep. Well, I'm with you on that. Absolutely. Players aside, you have to go with what's going to get a W, and that means leaving guys like Dylan Brooks out there longer. You got to get productivity from Jaren Jackson. You got to have Kyle Anderson step up. You'd like to see, Desmond the other night didn't hit a 3, still in 24 minutes. He's pretty reliable from deep. You have to get productivity from him. But I absolutely agree. I think with a team like Golden State, you need your best players out there on the floor because Golden State is a relatively deep team. And you just look at this. You got to go out there and find a way to win. This isn't a 5-game, 7-game series here. You lose, the season's over. So you have to find a way to win tonight.
It's not must win for the Grizzlies tonight, but if they do, that really helps develop Ja and Jaren for what we hope in the future will be bigger stakes and bigger playoff runs. If they win this one tonight, that's really making that scab into a scar that you can show in the future that you had some metal about you.
So, sorry. Say that again. What was, just in terms of Jaren and Ja, what were you saying exactly? I'm just trying to.
It helps for the future if they can win a game like this tonight when it will be bigger games than tonight in the future.
Oh, no,
this one will go a long way. Kind of, they've had their nose bloodied a little bit. Now it's time to, come out of the fracas as the winner.
Well, and you look at a game like this, right? It's one game against Golden State to determine who's going to be the 8th seed to play Utah. But this, for all intents and purposes, this is going to be just as a competitive game as you're going to see in the playoffs, whether it's a Clippers-Dallas series, whether it's a Knicks-Atlanta series, Milwaukee Heat. This is going to be up there. And so it's a great stepping stone for the Grizzlies to know that they can, so to speak, have their backs against the wall against an elite-level team and go out there and compete and hopefully get a win, especially on the road. That's what's going to be most challenging, I think, even though you don't have a stadium packed full of fans. So, no, absolutely. I think you don't want to look at it and say, well, it's a moral victory getting this far when you've had such higher hopes and expectations going into the season. But it would be phenomenal, and it would be an upset in my eyes that they could win. And regardless of what happens after this game, the rest of the playoffs, I wouldn't look at this as a disappointment, especially if you're able to win like this.
We talked about what the Grizzlies have to do, and I'm with you. You can't shoot and hit 6 threes while the other team has 15. You can't trade 3s for 2s. You lose. Just do the math. But what are some of the Golden State Warrior adjustments that they have to make? They got to figure out a way, frankly, to stop Valanciunas, and they don't have a good inside game.
Right. Well, I think that's the key, right? You got to be able to stop Valanciunas. I don't know really who you're going to throw at him. I mean, Kayvon Looney had some decent possessions against the Lakers, but is he thick enough and just tough enough to sit there and compete with Valanciunas? I don't think so. So you really have to capitalize on the advantage the Grizzlies have inside. Draymond Green could go out there and be a defensive stopper, but again, a guy like Valanciunas can get him in foul trouble relatively early, I think. In the last game against the Lakers, Draymond ended up having 5 fouls, and I think that the Grizzlies could use that to their advantage. I just think the Warriors have to have other players other than Steph step up. And look, they've done that. They've had that consistently, especially towards the latter part of the season when they've been getting hot. But they need productivity from Wiggins. They need a consistent shooting from Jordan Poole, which they've been getting. Kent Bazemore, Draymond, obviously, to step up. They've got a decent bench. So they need to bring their whole roster because if you're the Grizzlies and no one else is killing you but Steph, then you can run 2 guys at him. You can face guard him, try and keep the ball out of his hands and teams have had success doing that so far against Steph. When you really focused on him, try to make it really difficult for him, it's those moments when you don't see him dropping 30 or 40 points and 8 or 9 different threes. The games that he's struggled is when other teams have really made it difficult for Steph, gotten to his airspace, really, just competed and made him work to get the basketball. Not even just getting a shot off, but even just getting touches. So the dangerous part is you can't really defend like that if you're the Grizzlies and then expect these other guys not to hurt you. So you really have to be careful. But that's the way to, I would say, neutralize Steph if these other guys aren't out there killing you.
Sunday afternoon at Madison Square Garden, Andy, 15,000 tickets already sold. That's all they can have. That's out of about 19 and change, 15,000. Does anything scream we've come a long way in a year or more than that with what New York was going through a year ago, what New York was going through around the holiday season in December? The idea of 15,000 on Sunday afternoon, May 23rd, seemed preposterous at the time.
Yeah, a little bit. Watching these games, I would say the most welcome, to me at least, but foreign feeling is actually hearing fans. And even if it's just 5,000 or 6,000 fans, you can hear them in the arena. And I even heard it the other night in that Lakers-Warriors game. You could hear it. The announcers were talking about it. Even every game so far in the playoffs, just the minimal amount of fans, they really do make a difference. And so now all of a sudden, of all places, the mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden, in the playoffs, which is remarkable in and of itself, right? You're talking about the Knicks in the playoffs with a lot of opportunity here to make some noise, having home court advantage as the 4th seed back in New York with that amount of fans in the building. It is going to be just like opening night, packed stadium with all the stars there. It's going to be that electric feeling, and that's what I'm really excited about.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but as long as we're talking about this series, Nate McMillan's basically saying that the league wants New York in the playoffs. He got fined for that. I said that would be like me saying the sun's going to come up. That means we're going to have daylight. I mean, I think that's a pretty well-established desire, don't you?
Well, I think it is, but that doesn't necessarily – the league has no bearing on what the players out there in the Knicks uniforms do every single night. Do they want them in the playoffs? Absolutely. Just like you said, it's a big market. It's attractive. It's a world-renowned, universally known symbol, the New York Knicks. So for sure, that definitely benefits the league from a revenue standpoint, especially if you can have more fans there. But what are you trying to imply, that somehow the league is manipulating the rest to help the Knicks win games? I don't buy that for a second.
I don't either. I'm not sure. Well, I guess maybe that was the implication, but
I think the Hawks are going to give the Knicks a run for their money.
You do?
I do.
Last thing, because you were so high on the Phoenix Suns, are they going to upset the Lakers?
I'm going to say yes. I think they will. I buy into
2 over a 7.
Yeah, you saw, and obviously that's nothing crazy. Now the Lakers, obviously, as we know, they are not a traditional 7 seed with LeBron and AD healthy. But even that being the case, I love Phoenix. I love the way they're coached. I love the way they play. I love how level they are, and just I love their cadence and their patience with everything, and just how balanced they are. I love their defensive mentality. So even with LeBron and AD out there, I would pick. I'm not going to say it's a sweep, but I would pick the Suns over the Lakers.
Andy Schiffman, we'll talk about it next Friday. We'll be right in the heart of all this. Thank you, my friend. We appreciate it.
Looking forward to it.
Enjoy Cubs cards this weekend too.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. That is our friend, our agent in Chicago. That is Andy Schiffman. He's brought to you in part by the good folks at Conway Services. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and the Visa gift card give back up to $1,500 if you want to get brand new 2021 technology. That Carrier Infinity system is incredible, and Carrier and Conway will give you a $1,500 Visa gift card if you buy that technology. Now, if your system has 2 units, upstairs, downstairs, back of the house, front of the house, we're talking $3,000. Oh, but wait. John's going to give you more. He always does. He's going to throw in an April air cleaner to get the dust out of your house, a 10-year parts warranty on the house, and then there's a free Nest thermostat. State of the art, that's about $2,000 in freebies. And then, along with the gift cards and all that, how about getting systems with payment plans as low as $139 a month? Everybody could do that. All you got to do is make the call, 384-3511, 384-3511. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. And finally, this portion of the show is brought to you by our good friends at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Homer Skelton's Genesis of Olive Branch. Same building, same great people, a team that's been together for about 13 years. They give you a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on every brand-new Hyundai or Genesis. They believe in the product. The product speaks for itself. Hyundais are the safest cars there are. That's what all the magazines and all the experts that do the tests, that's what they say. And then, honestly, there's service with that product. That product is so good that they want to take care of it for you, and they give you a 3-year, 36,000-mile maintenance package on the house. They'll change your oil. They'll rotate your tires. They'll do everything for you. That product, that service, that's why you want to go. On Lamar into Mississippi, turn left at Craft Road. You will have arrived at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. It is now officially Taco Bell Crunch time.
This is for all the biggest crunch time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye.
Hello, Haskins. Boop.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
On 1, on 2, on 3. Hey.
Time for Taco Bell Crunch Time. Taco Bell, home of the crispy tortilla chips, topped with a double portion of either seasoned beef or shredded chicken, plus refried beans, nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, guacamole, and a 3-cheese blend. Nachos Bel Grande, heaping portion of chips, topped with ground beef, tomatoes, beans, nacho cheese sauce, and a dollop of sour cream. Taco Bell, home to great food you get on your way home real fast, and they bring you crunch time every day. I've learned today and learned all week just how much I love this setup at Kiowa. I like birdies just as much as the next fellow, but I like the challenge the PGA Championship has presented. It's fair. It's not too easy. Sometimes Augusta can get a little easy. Sometimes the Open Championship can get a little goofy. And too many times the U.S. Open and the USGA setups are just ridiculous. I love this setup, Dave.
I do too, because I think it's hard but fair. 81 players at 5 or above over par. So it is truly a test, and a major should be a test. It shouldn't be as hard as the U.S. Open, but it shouldn't be easy either. It's not meant to be won by 22 under. And I think the cream will rise to the top, and it'll be a great story to see what Phil Mickelson can do over 4 rounds of championship golf. I learned today Simone Biles is one of the great athletes of our lifetime, Brett. There is a YouTube video.
And I want to see her this summer.
There's a YouTube video out now where she did this today. I saw it on YouTube, where she does a vault. You know, that's where you go off the springboard and you hit the little pommel horse there, and then you flip over them. She flipped like this has only been done by one other person in history. It was a Russian gymnast named Yurchenko, and that's what the maneuver is called, a Yurchenko. And I don't know that Yurchenko ever actually landed it clean. Simone Biles hits that thing, goes straight up in the air, and like flips 3 times and lands it and sticks it.
IOC says we're on for the summer.
Unbelievable what a great athlete she is. Also, I learned today, UConn extended Gino Auriemma 4 more years through 2025. Is there any other coach more worthy than what Auriemma does every year with that UConn women's basketball team?
Probably not. Could have done without people that aren't giving the Grizzlies any chance. It's not as much local as the national people. That was a close game on Sunday, so it's official. Tonight is Memphis versus everybody. Don't we love it that way?
It is. We love to have our backs up against the wall. We do. I do think it's a winnable game, but as I've said before, the right things have to happen for the Grizzlies. They've got to hit threes, and they got to play their starters. I guess we'll start with that. I could have done
can't
without.
Foul out.
Yeah. You got to build. Dylan Brooks has to play 40 minutes. John Morant's got to play 40 minutes. And let's just say JV's got to play 38 minutes. If those three guys can do that and stay on the floor in key times, that will be critical. I could have done without. Did you see what happened with Tim Tebow since he signed that jersey? In 24 hours, he became the top-selling jersey in the NFL. There's 4 other things that get sold through the NFL souvenir store. He's leader in 5 different things, including that jersey. And that number 85 jersey for his tight end, that ain't cheap. That's $120 that people are shelling out. For a Tebow jersey?
For a guy that's not going to make the team. But people with their money, they can do what they want to with it.
I'm going to tell you, I think he's going to make the team. I heard this theory, and I think it's pretty good. Not that he needs the money, but, he does go a long way with his coach, right?
This gets him into the retirement.
Exactly. He needs like 4 games to get the pension. So I think Urban Meyer said, come on, I'll put you on the team for 4 games. We'll get a lot of publicity. We'll sell some jerseys. Maybe we'll even sell some tickets. And then
is he needing to cash that bad on the back end?
I don't know. Who's going to turn down a pension?
Nobody.
It's only like 4 games. He can cut them if he doesn't cut it.
We're going to watch it a lot. I think this weekend, just for me personally, this weekend feels like a real sports weekend as much as any since the pandemic started. I mean, we got the PGA when it's supposed to be. We have NBA playoffs and maybe not starting at this time, but we're used to it in late May. Baseball rolling. I'm going to the Redbirds game tomorroh night. We've got
my son Nathan's
people out
be
recreating.
There. Go look
people
for
out recreating and going to things. This weekend feels as real as any since the pandemic. Cubbies and Cardinals in St. Louis, Grizzlies going. There's a lot going on this weekend. NBA and NHL playoffs both going on. So it feels like, and Sunday with 15,000 at the Garden, the pandemic's over. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's Louisville that's in town. So go Redbirds. We can
Bats
all
first birds.
And
Memphis first everybody.
Yeah. And can I just say this for you? We'll be watching this weekend. I want you to watch how on Monday I'll be here for you. When the Cubs take 2 out of 3.
Thank you, Dave.
And you are in the dumps.
Thank you, Dave.
I will absolutely be there for you.
I would have expected nothing
more.
More than
nothing
that
less.
from you.
Yeah.
No more.
Okay. We're getting this out. I kept waiting for the 1 minute time thing we did not get. So we got to get the heck out of here. We'll be watching the PGA. Thanks to everybody who was on.
Have a great weekend.
We'll see you on Monday, folks.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or